Bring Wes into the conversation. Wes, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well today, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. Thanks so much for joining me, Wes. I just want to bring up your name key so everybody can see who you are. There we go. Wes Fleming, host of Chasing the Horizon. What's new in the motorcycle world, Wes?
Well, what do you know about emissions? And I'm not talking about, bodily emissions that you can use to promote social distancing. I mean, motorcycle emissions, greenhouse gases.
Not a clue, man. Not a clue. Go ahead.
So you might not know about this aspect of the motorcycle industry then, but laws that govern greenhouse gas emissions in Europe affect motorcycle roads all over the world because if a manufacturer wants to sell their motorcycles in Europe, and all of them do, then they have to adhere to Europe's pretty strict emissions controls. And it can be incredibly expensive to maintain separate production specs for Europe only bikes and rest of the world bikes, which is why all the manufacturers pretty much have all of their bikes meet European standards.
Okay.
And they have a new set of somewhat stricter rules governing emissions that are set to go into effect January 2021. We call this set of rules Euro 5, right? So they're superseding Euro 4. So even though there are provisions built into Euro 5 that let manufacturers sell bikes that were made before Euro 5 that don't meet the standards for a short period of time just to kind of, clear out their inventories, because of the global shutdown of the motorcycle industry that runs from manufacturing through purchasing, it's looking like it's going to be really tough for these manufacturers in there to sell off all this stagnant inventory in the short amount of time that Euro 5 gets them. So people are starting to talk about some options on how to make this work so that these companies don't get stuck with all these bikes they can't sell. One is to create update kits that they can install on Euro 4 compatible bikes, like airbox modifications, exhaust system modifications. They go into the dealership and get plugged into the computer for a new fuel map, those kinds of things that would kind of allow the end user to make those bikes compliant. But the big organization that kind of like a trade organization called the Association of European Motorcycle Manufacturers, they want to push the start date for Euro 5 back. And some are saying that they even might want to get this pushed back a whole year into 2022 to give the whole motorcycle industry all over the world a chance to recover before they have to start making big updates to their motorcycles. Some of the manufacturers, like BMW specifically, have come out with new models that already meet Euro 5 standards. The shift cam technology in the new BMW Boxers is one of those models. I happen to think that pushing the start date back would be easier for everybody because all they have to do is, meet and vote. Of course, when politicians get together, the meet and vote part is not always the easy part. But that would certainly be the least expensive part financially. Environmentally, there's a cost to that. So they'd have to change the law or create a whole different set of circumstances. But it's just another one of those things that people have to take into account as we start to see the motorcycle industry work on recovering from the recession, unfortunately, that we're getting ready to face because of the pandemic.
Yeah, and that's going to take a bit of time. And again, I know we've talked about how the dealerships are already being affected. I'm hoping to bring on a dealer from California to see how the business is going for him as well, because I want to talk about how I like to look at the industry in multiple facets. How the OEMs are doing, how the dealerships are doing, and how the brands are doing, and yeah. So I mean, any modifications that are going to be required are going to cost a lot of money, and this is going to be a hard time for them to swallow some additional bucks.
Yep, definitely.
No question about it. Hey, tell me who's coming up on your show this week, next week.
Next week, yeah, I got a guy called Adam Owens, who is maybe not a really well-known name in the industry, but he's the guy that thought up a web-based, material-based rack mounting system for bags that can go onto dual sport motorcycles. It's a company called Green Chili Adventure Gear.
Oh,
Very, very interesting, and I love talking to entrepreneurs, so I had a really great time talking to Adam.
oh, that sounds cool. And that's going to be released when, Monday?
Monday, yep.
So that's Chasing the Horizon. Everybody should be downloading that podcast as well because that's an excellent show. Wes, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I look forward to seeing you again on Sunday night with Jeremy and Elle. Okay, and Elle. She'll be with Elle. We really want to speak to her because I swear she's going to kill him. Okay. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you then. Okay. Thanks, Wes.
Good night.
Have a good night. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Wes, and look at this. We're at 8:28 in the show. Let me just